you realize you do the exact same thing, right? Except now the tables have turned. It's a phrase I never thought that I would hear. A few years ago, I was complaining to someone very close to me about how a friend would only call me and complain. We never talked about anything else. There was just complaints about her life and how everything was wrong and how everything wasn't going her way and how people were mean to her and why. And I'd talk her through it and be a good friend, but eventually I got frustrated and was like, why is that the only time I get this call? And this person said, well, you know you do the exact same thing, right? Except now the tables are turned and you have to listen to it. And I didn't know it then, but I know it now, exactly what that means. And this is one of those moments where I get a channeled message in the middle of the night and they're persistent, so someone needs to hear this. So here I am, and here you are. So thank you for watching. It started out with my complaining because I realized my complaining wasn't getting me anywhere. And none of my problems were being solved, and I never really felt better. My ego got inflated a little bit by the attention I would get from the complaining, but it never really actually solved the problem. So I stopped complaining. I made a concerted effort, and it took a lot of time because it's very easy to worry about and think about all the things that are wrong, that are going wrong. So it started with the complaining, and then it moved into my daily habits, and then it went into my gossip and where my focus was. And those things were holding me back. And then when I realized my focus was in the wrong spot, my health went south, and that showed up pretty quick. So then I worked on my health and wellness, and I turned to my relationships after that and boundaries. And then I turned to myself, and I was always working on myself all along. Since that moment, I decided to stop complaining. But this looked a little different. And to quote Robert Grant, he says, it's the external around you, what you see every day in your life, is you inverse. We talk about the universe and connectedness and oneness, and it is true. But you inverse means that what's going on in your external is a direct reflection of what's going on internally. And if you are unhappy and you are complaining and you're not aware of your daily actions, then your external circumstances and environments are going to reflect that back to you. And it might just show up in some other person, right? Or it'll show up in your workplace and being sidelined, or your creative projects can't get off the ground. And it starts inside of you. And when you can wrap your brain around the idea that if you want your external to look and feel the way that you have it in mind, then the internal should already look like that. It should already feel like that. And if it doesn't, then don't expect the external to shift or change at all, ever. So it really is about going, okay, well, why did that person just do that? What's going on in me? Am I doubting myself? Am I frustrated? Am I getting wrapped up in the news? What's going on with me? Now, is it always about you? No. No, not really. People are in their own world, but your interactions are happening for a reason. So if people leave your life suddenly, or you find yourself in a new career, or you find yourself in a situation you never thought you'd be in, the first question you should ask is, why did I choose that? What's going on inside me? And when you can start there, rather than going, oh, they shouldn't have done that, or they shouldn't say that way, or they shouldn't behave that way, or this shouldn't be happening to me because they don't understand. And if you start there, you're looking in the wrong spot. You're the detective, but looking in the wrong place. And you're just going to keep walking and looking and seeking and trying to find it out there, but really it's inside. And the answers are there. And they're hard. They're hard to accept. They're hard to hear. They're hard to incorporate, of course. But if you can get comfortable in that, if you can get comfortable in the idea that whatever's happening on the inside is going to show you on the outside, then you can, for lack of a better term, manipulate what's going on the outside. And really, it's not even that, it's orchestrating it. Because if you can orchestrate the inside as the conductor of this is how I want to feel, and I'm going to feel that way, and I am feeling that way, the external is going to validate that. It's going to show up that way. And I have plenty of examples of that, especially in the last 6 months. But this is all just to say that if you find yourself in a complaining loop and revisiting the same things, ask yourself, you might feel better for a little while, but is it really solving your problems? Are the tables being turned and you're finding yourself in the same position I was in a few years ago? Think about it. Have a great day.